Welcome to today's video. Today is a little bit about estrogen dominance. If you are new to my channel, consider subscribing to the best YouTube channel ever. I'm active on health, nutrition, and health optimization, powerlifting, bodybuilding, how to build a nice physique and get stronger as safely as possible and as smart as possible. It's all about strategy, consistency, and having a plan in place to optimize your health to ensure that you have longevity for your life. I figured to talk a little bit about estrogen dominance. So there's two hormones. There's estrogen and progesterone, specifically in the females. Men have progesterone too. They have estrogen too. It's just they have less. Women have testosterone too. It's just they have less than men. So I made a post about estrogen dominance on my Instagram a little while ago. I'll have the picture here on the screen. A little bit about estrogen dominance and how it relates actually to the health of your gut. So a couple of symptoms with estrogen dominance. Some symptoms include fibroids, menses, weight gain in the hips for women, the midsection and thighs, like excessive weight gain. For men, some symptoms is gyno, depression, and insomnia, as well as fibrocystic breasts. So what happens is when a female loses her menstrual cycle, for example, menstrual cycle is basically your scientific term for periods. Usually, typically, the female needs to have the menstrual cycle, regular menstrual cycle, even if she is into weight training and building muscle, especially if she gets stronger and builds more tissue, she can lose her cycle. If she wants to reproduce in the future, that can affect her ability because she wasn't able to menstruate. So it's really important to making sure that the female is getting the cycle regularly. It also helps with weight loss for women. Believe it or not, it's actually something I learned the other day. And typically when you are low in progesterone, that's typically when you see a non-existence of the menstrual cycle. You need both estrogen and progesterone to be at its levels, optimal levels, for the woman to menstruate. With the progesterone, what happens is with estrogen dominance, it means that she is either overproducing estrogen or she's low in progesterone. So it can happen either way. Either her estrogen can be super high or her progesterone is super low, which makes her estrogen super high as a result of the progesterone being super low. So in general, you need estrogen to balance out with progesterone. So there are three things that affect the estrogen receptor. Receptors are basically like satellite dishes, I think of it. It's just kind of how I think of it. And it's sort of like a way to attract what kind of comes into the cell. That makes sense. So the first type of estrogen is called phytoestrogen. It's basically the weakest form of estrogen, and it is in foods such as flax seeds and mung seeds. As well as soy products. I'm not a big fan of soy products for a variety of reasons, especially for men. I think that pretty sure it has something to do with lowering your testosterone. So I'm not a huge fan of the soy products in general, but also for women, I'm just very skeptical of soy. The second form of estrogen is within every human. It's the endogenous form of estrogen, meaning we produce it. The third type of estrogen is called the xenoestrogen. It's found in bisphenol A, as well as plastics, a couple of other products. This is one of the reasons why you don't want to warm up your food, for example, in plastic, or really have anything in plastic. It's not good for the environment. It has to do with estrogen, and it can affect your hormones. And unfortunately, it's very common nowadays with different types of immune disorders or immune situations and conditions. So it's really important to look at your hormone levels, specifically estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The right lifestyle, nutrition, and supplements, you can monitor this naturally, holistically. If you go to a doctor, they typically will have you go to a nutritionist to fix your diet because people that are estrogen dominant are not eating well and they're kind of in a very stressful environment, and that all affects her and his hormones. So that is a little bit about estrogen dominance. I hope that was useful and helpful. Consider subscribing to the channel for more information, and I will see you in the next video.